Polio New Zealand, that represents all the polio people in this country, hired me a few years back to develop a strategic plan for them. That I did a survey of all of our users on their orthotics and what their satisfaction. 24% of them were in pain daily. A lot of them had chucked them in the cupboard. 50% were happy, so that was okay. But for a lot, our current orthotics just don't work.
Currently out on the market, if you have a neurological or a neuromuscular condition, would be a standard simple AFO, which is an ankle foot orthoses, and it typically comes in a product which has a flexibility component to it. So which is fantastic when you're bringing leg through, it holds the foot up, and that's wonderful. It helps during what we call swing phase. But when the foot is actually grounded, when you're relying on support and stability to take the weight over the foot, they don't typically have a lot of that support.
And because they don't do any correction, any deformity in the ankle will just keep going, and goes far enough, you've lost your legs, you're in a wheelchair, you're in a rest home, whatever.
I have some clients that have considered amputation because of pain and not being given the funding to actually proceed with these structures.
So even if somebody attempted to, this would rotate wherever the foot would take it. And what I do is I will lock the forefoot underneath the knee. The other is that too many braces have these joints, and they call that dynamic, but there's really no support in the front. So one of the biggest mistakes I think our profession has done is gone with the ones with the ankle joints. The other is any material that you could bend with your hands is not going to hold the body in good alignment all the way through the gait cycle. So the most important part of the gait cycle is when the foot hits the ground. And so what we want to try to do is realign in 3 dimensions, have this forefoot underneath the knee, and then when they take a step and go right on over, they're being supported all the way through the gait cycle. Each one is designed for that particular foot and for the foot deviations.
The device that we've been introduced to has been revolutionary for the clients that I've seen being fitted with it, in that they can relax in standing, where normally they're having to actively use their arms, they have been in pain.
My right leg, which is fine, has had to prop me up all these years, and of course my concern is that it was deteriorating, and so my walking was getting worse and worse. If I carry on this way, I see myself having to use crutches, and there was always from the beginning there was the warning that I could easily end up in a wheelchair.
As the muscles are weakening on the right side, the polio side, the other side has to do harder work and becomes tired easily, and the muscles even ache. So it's not a pleasant experience, but walking is part of life, so we have to do it.
It was painful. In the ankle, could be in the knees, in the hips, in the back. It wasn't always predictable.
Compensatory gait pattern costs humans a lot of energy on every step. If we go from our pelvis up and we make a sideways movement, we are throwing 70% of our mass out the window and then have to catch it and haul it back in. If we have a knee going backwards, we got 15% of our body weight being like an anchor thrown out the trunk. But if we get very, aligned properly, actually gravity seats us onto our limbs with very little muscle power anywhere. So that's what I do very meticulously, is each person has different deviations, different deformities, and what I do is I look in 3 dimensions and how do I realign and put corrective forces everywhere up the chain to hold that.
It's designed to be comfort. It's moulded specifically for that person. It's not something off the shelf, which most other things are. It's not small, medium and large. This is yours, designed for you, corrected for you.
Countless surgeries, amputations have been prevented with this technology and its methodology. The amount of money that we could save by preventing falls, reducing pain, having people where they could actually be more active. So instead of sitting down and actually gaining weight and other health issues, they're up and walking. So I've had people that have lost up to 50 pounds. So that'd be, like 25 kilos or so, because they're up and active.
The feel of being able to stand up straight and rigid is just brilliant. Keeping my back straight and feeling that I could stand here for ages is really great.
So how does it feel to stand relaxed?
It's just a totally different way of standing. It is just so good because always we have all people like me have stood there waving around, worrying about what's in front of us. Are we going to fall over? Is our one leg going to hold us up?
Right.
And this way I can actually stand here and listen to you without concentrating. And I need practice with this, but it's already, it feels a lot better.
Could you put your hands above your head?
Yes, no worries at all.
Could you reach out here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you twist and look at that corner?
Yeah.
Good. And then twist in this way?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
So you
after
feel-
one day, really, isn't it?
Yeah. One of the things we do is realign all the bones. So with your polio, your ankle is rotated more so than what would be your normal rotation. And so this foot is actually rotated over, and your heel bone, his
Yeah.
calcaneus is underneath this way, your forefoot is this way, okay? So you're not underneath your knee. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually going to rotate that back, move your forefoot over this way, and actually try to get that underneath your knee so that you have something to be balanced on.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're doing an initial training.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's stand up, pelvis forward, and look straight ahead. Good, pelvis forward. Let's move this foot over. Move this foot. Yep. Good. Okay, pelvis forward. Good. Feels good?
Yes.
Okay. How does it feel good?
Feel more balanced and straight.
Stop, stand up, shoulders back, and can you let go?
Let go.
Yeah. Feel secure?
Feel so, yeah, secure.
Good. When was the last time you felt that secure?
Never.
You never felt
Never without the braces, no.
it? So how is this different?
Like in the last 2 days that I have tried, when I stood up in the braces straight, that was very liberating and a marvelous experience to be able to look up instead of being bent and looking downwards most of the time.
So now you can look at people
Yes,
eye to eye.
yeah.
And I'm going to have to reprogram my brain. That is if I can find it. But but I am going to have to do that. But it's in my interest to do so. So A, I'm not nervous about it, but B, I know that I'm going to have to put a lot of work in. And it does feel so much better when you actually do relax into it and give it, make it stand up there for you.
Keep my head up. It's wonderful. I don't have to look at the ground. That's the wildest, weirdest thing, because suddenly I stand up and I'm balanced, and suddenly my body is straight. And then to feel that movement and the sort of smoothness, both legs the same, I'm still learning because it's very difficult.
Gives you the liberty. I feel that that's the beginning of a journey where I'll be able to walk without having any part of my body doing extra work, and it feels balanced and I feel secure. So that itself is quite liberating. I can be like other people.
So when we're training, there's like a polio survivor who's never had a normalcy. There's no hard wire in the brain, so the neurons and the synapses have not developed. And so that practicing over and over again slowly gets these to hook up. If they stop, they will unhook. But we got to that's what the muscle memory, we got to keep reinforcing.
Sweeping the floor, doing the dishes, talking to somebody, sitting down. Those things give me unimaginable pleasure every day, and it doesn't diminish. It's like, it's still a surprise. In the morning when I come and put this on, it's like, I remember, I stand up, it's like, whoa. The feeling of that balance after a lifetime of the other way, to feel it every day, I don't think that thrill is ever going to diminish.
Look, I've just seen their faces when they put it on, and the in very short amount of training that they are able to achieve such a more efficient walking pattern and standing pattern and stability and socialisation and quality of life and reduction in pain, which is what we're aiming to do every day.
When that is all put at ease and anxiety of standing is gone, they're not have a fear of somebody bumping into them because they're a lot more secure. Their self-esteem improves, they're standing taller, they're prouder. I've just seen so many dynamics in just the psychological aspect alone, just by gaining what we take for granted. Therefore, it's the best job in the world to see that happen, and you see it in their faces.